I am Anthony, the first and very punctual first person. and I'll be saying things in response to what our very punctual second negative speaker said. Joseph mentioned one patient, Antonius Verdiajada, was shot by his girlfriend's ex-stalker, and had to pay $20,000 or whatever. Was shot by a man, and he had to pay $20,000 in out-of-pocket expenses, while most of his insurance has covered it. However, that has more to do with that appears to have more to do with our nation's expensive healthcare costs, rather than like just being shot in general. So according to the OECD health data in 2012, the United States spends most on healthcare as opposed to other countries, especially on hospital stays and medical screenings. For example, Verdia Jaja had to pay $20,000 in out-of-pocket expenses, which is actually the average cost of out-of-pocket expenses of a hospital stay in the United States. However, other countries have far cheaper hospital stays, and he's just nitpicking hospital stays caused by gun violence out of all other hospital stays where people have stayed in hospitals for cancer, falls, accidents, etc. Also, the heavy price tag of the supposedly heavy price tag of gun violence in this nation exaggerates the amount of instances of gun violence in general. According to the evidence gathered by the National Safety Council and a graph compiled by The Economist, you are more likely to be afflicted with and die, and I am not joking, from heart disease, choking on food, fires, medical accidents, and post-surgery complications, rather than being shot by a gun, which is basically a drop or maybe even half a drop in the bucket. My second claim is that even if someone has valid reason to protect themselves, it's still very complicated for them to be allowed to have a concealed carry permit. Fox News in New Jersey reported that in New Jersey, where carry laws are just as strict in California, since they are distributed on a may-issue basis, Carol Bone had a restraining order against her ex-husband, who was known to beat her and rape her during their marriage. Bone was stabbed to death in her own driveway by her ex while she was waiting for her permit to conceal carry. So this lengthy and restricted process of her not being allowed to carry a gun just left Bone as a sitting duck in the wrath of her own ex. Now, despite having good cause and being a domestic violence victim by the government, even with the restraining order, she was still not able to carry a gun right away. Joseph also mentioned Joseph in his dismantle claim stated of a possible vigilante justice as a result of concealed carry permits. Number one, vigilantism is actually illegal in the United States, and this goes to, and vigilante justice is actually very rare among concealed carry weapons permits, and it's a basis of getting your permit revoked. Concealed carry permit holders, according to the Crime Prevention Research Center, are far more law-abiding than police officers. Permit holders in Florida and Texas are convicted of misdemeanors and felonies at 1/6 of the rate that police officers are convicted. So with the recent events of police brutality, such as like Michael Brown, etc., their concealed carry permit holders are far more responsible than the common citizen, and are more trustworthy and can counter crime when posing danger to them. And not to mention, and my last claim is that like we can't always wait for the police to show up, let alone rely on the police themselves. In Wharton versus the DC, the court has actually ruled that the police has no duty, no obligation to protect its citizens, and the police can be considered just as incompetent as just the regular citizens. I mean, they're just trained individuals with a badge given by the government. So why is it that a civilian that can get trained at the same level as a police officer would be far more likely to be denied a concealed carry permit as a police officer that just has a gun and went through possibly less training and is still able to get a gun? Thank you.